Hi, Rich Karuba for bowlingball.com. I want to talk to you about some of the latest wrist support devices on the market today. And before we discuss the names of a few of them, I think it's important for you to realize that wrist support devices are more useful than most bowlers believe. If you walk into a local bowling center and watch even the very best leagues where the top players in town are bowling, many of them could be improve the consistency and the power in their regular bowling releases and their delivery style by simply wearing a wrist support device if they're not wearing one, and wearing the right one that augments what they do, that helps what they do naturally. So that's really what this article is about that I wrote, and this video that matches the article is about at bowlingball.com. The latest wrist support devices. First, by storm, the Gadget and the Gizmo series have been very successful for years, and they have adjustable devices on the back where you can actually hinge or prop the tilt in the wrist support device and dial it in exactly the way you want it to help your release be the most successful. Brunswick and Ebonite have some interesting particular items that have been on the market for many years and are very successful items. The Brunswick Power Triple X, the Command, the Power Coil, and the Power X Palm Pad glove have all been on the market and are great items that will help you release the bowling ball more consistently. There are some other assorted brands, for example, the Moro Pro Release, the Brunswick Pro Wrister, and two popular brands, the Robbie's Original and of course the Mongoose Optimum, are both very successful gloves. And all these wrist support devices begin anywhere from say $17 up to $78 in price. And the price varies so much because of the capability some of the wrist support devices provide, more so than others. But your job is to find just the right ones that feels good on your hands, that you feel confident that you can release your bowling ball with. So a little experimentation is necessary, but by all means, I'm betting most of you listening to this video who don't use a wrist support device now should use one. Now, the number one reason is the wrist support devices regulate the moment you release the ball. It makes the thumb exiting the ball at the same time more consistent than when you don't wear a release, a wrist support device, that is. And secondly, the wrist support device can help prop up the wrist and hinge up the wrist, so the thumb definitely exits the ball a little bit sooner, and the finger pads then can give a quick rotational releasing motion and help your rev rate increase. So more consistency and more revs are the two big reasons why bowlers go to wrist support devices. Now, the wrist support devices also show and demonstrate, because they help the thumb get out sooner than when you don't use one, that you indeed collapse your wrist or let your wrist hinge back when you're releasing the bowling ball and you don't even know it. I see so many bowlers set up on the approach and hinge the wrist forward or cup it forward thinking I'm really going to power this ball up, and by the time they swing it back and begin downswing into the release area, they lose all that cup and that power. It's very difficult to hold that position all the way through the swing. So it's hard to cradle the ball going into the swing with your wrist in it. It takes a strong wrist, it takes a lot of practice, and it takes work with a really good bowling coach to help you perfect a strong release and an accurate and consistent one so the quickest thing to do is just to buy a wrist support device, experiment with the one that'll help you best. Your bowling scores are going to thank you for it.